Continue.
Why?
Just keep going.
Mexican stereotypes, Mexico, dogs, chihuahuas, Coton de Tuileries,
Okay.
Oscar, Daisy.
All right, that's enough. Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 1 of Helpless Entertainment, the podcast, with your host, the Owen M. Fleming, featuring co-host today.
Co-host featuring. Hello, welcome. I am Lydia Fleming, the main speaker on this channel, and this is Helpless Comedy.
Okay. I'm getting a call right now, I can tell, from Jack Krumm. Now,
Answer it. Put him on the podcast.
Okay, let's get him on here. Let's see what he has to say.
Everyone,
Mr. Jack!
Owen,
What's up?
did Bryce respond?
He did.
What did he say?
Jack, you're live on my podcast right now.
Oh boy, am I?
What do you have to say for yourself? You're here with Owen and Lydia Fleming.
Listen, all I gotta say is Owen is the absolute GOAT of league, and Lydia is just the GOAT of the world.
Jack, we were just about to get talking about the Snail podcast. Now, when is the next episode, and what are we going to hear from you on that next episode?
We're gonna hear it on Friday at some point during the day, and basically what we're gonna be talking about is it's gonna be a little bit more of an argumentative
Okay.
between Owen Ozist, my color man this past year, Griffin Brown, Dylan Brown, and then, of course, the third Fleming child, Mr. Cole Fleming.
And what will the debate be regarding?
The debate will be regarding all the recent sports news. So you got the draft this past week and other type things such as that.
All right. Wonderful. Well, thanks, Jack, and we'll talk to you later. And that's just a reminder to tune in to the next episode of the Snail podcast.
You just hung up on him.
I did just hang up on him. It sounds cleaner. It makes it look cool. I sound cooler when I do it. See what I mean?
Okay. No,
So,
really.
let's see. Lydia, what do you have to say? So, we listened to the episode of the Snail podcast, and to be honest with you, it was very interesting, to say the least. Lydia, what do you have to say about the podcast?
To be completely honest, I'm not much of a sport fan in that regard, so I did find myself fairly confused throughout the podcast. I feel like it was well spoken, just not to the right audience.
You know, I'd have to agree with you on that one. And I mean, I think Jack is a stand-up guy. He's a fantastic host. He's a fantastic orator. That's a fancy word for speak. And he's a very smart guy. I would have to say that he is definitely the highlight of the show. Bryce Baumgart on the show, on the other hand, well, I'm just going to leave that to your listen. So go ahead. I'll leave a link in the description. Yeah, I just said that. Can you believe it? Holy crap. Okay. So today, what we're going to be talking about, well, you heard her kind of going off. In other words, we don't really know what to talk about today. What do you think, Lyd? What should we talk about?
I say we talk about entertainment.
Entertainment. Okay, so entertainment, that's kind of fancy word for movies. So movies,
No.
Yeah, I mean,
Not really, no.
when it comes down to it, movies are the biggest form of entertainment. So with that said, let's review Toy Story 4.
No!
Okay.
No.
Well, look, I'm just going to tell you, if you haven't seen Toy Story 4, get
Watch
to the theater. Go and watch it. It's a fantastic story about Woody and the gang. Once again, Pixar did it again. Lydia, can you agree with that?
To be completely honest, no.
Okay.
I'd have to disagree. Movie? 2 out of 10, maybe, at most. I think what really made it the best, that actually gave it the 2 points, was the food I ate during the movie.
What did you have?
I had sour stripes.
You did. Okay. We were just having a discussion because those are completely atrocious.
Those are amazing.
They taste like sugary jerky, and it's quite.
Kind of looks like it too, but I think that's cool. The sweet and sour.
Yeah, I mean maybe if you like that, perhaps.
I put hot sauce on mine. That's why I said sweet
hot
and sour.
sauce. Okay. What kind?
The red kind.
I mean, there's like brands of it, isn't there?
And
You know what
no
I wanna
brands
talk
on
about
this
today?
channel unless you'd like
You know what? Look,
a sponsorship. So please
Look.
contact us.
we're
Disney.
talking about hot sauce
Disney,
here.
please contact us.
And that just made something come into my mind. So what we're going to talk about is, and we're on the trend of entertainment here, is the show that I watched a little bit yesterday called Mr. Iglesias.
Yeah.
It's a Netflix original. I tend to enjoy Netflix originals. Most Stranger Things, I think is a fantastic show. Orange is that a Netflix original?
I have no idea. I'm pretty sure.
Maybe, but I mean that's a decent show. Bird Box, for what it wasn't awful. The ending was atrocious.
Awful ending.
But this new show, and The Ranch, of course, fantastic show.
Mindhunter, is that
Mindhunter is a Netflix. See, I can name endless things that Netflix has done. This show, Mr. Iglesias here, is
wild.
Is a train wreck.
I liked it.
From start to finish, it's a train wreck. It reads and it feels like a kid's show, and then they start talking about threesomes and just completely vile things that throw you off guard.
What's that one cartoon thing? Isn't that kind of what that's like?
What cartoon?
South Park.
South Park.
South Park and Mr. Iglesias are the same show.
Yeah, South Park. Well, I mean,
they are.
The clear audience of South Park is adults, teenagers, and adults. The clear audience for Mr. Iglesias. I mean, you could throw it onto the Disney Channel, and you wouldn't be able to tell. I mean, it's a mostly. It's a mostly teenage cast. You got this guy Fluffy, who, he plays this history teacher, and I mean his jokes are fine. I prefer him more. He's a comedian. I prefer him in a stand-up sense because, I mean, the guy is a Mexican, and here the thing is that all the jokes seem to be about that. He talks about hot sauce and how much he eats and how much he likes burritos and all this stuff, and I mean, it's kind of old. It's kind of old, and I'm not really a fan. I'm not really a fan of that show. What do you think?
To be completely honest, I do think some of the jokes are pretty funny, actually. I think...
Okay, name one. Okay, name one funny joke.
Please quiet when I'm talking.
Okay.
So, I think some of the jokes are pretty funny. I guess I'm not a huge fan of the kind of confusing audience, just because it seems like adults, but then it's kids, and it's very confusing because the main characters, half of them are adults, half are teenagers, so it's difficult to see that from that perspective. But honestly, I thought the show was not awful.
I wasn't listening to a word you said. You lost me at you lost me in the beginning, frankly, because the show's a train wreck. You don't remember
what I said, that's why you couldn't say what I lost you at.
Yeah, you got that right. But the show's a train wreck. I only watched one episode, and that's all I'm going to say about it. But Stranger Things is coming on July 4th. I'm yet to see the final episode of season 2.
It was very, very great. Very well put together show.
The show is definitely well put together.
Yeah. Will Drake make an appearance in season 3?
Is he supposed to?
No.
Oh.
I'm just saying that
Will Drake make an
Bobby
appearance?
Brown.
I mean, here's the thing. Millie Bobby Brown, something's up with her and Drake. It's in the news. It's in the tabloids. It's all over. We know what's happening. I mean, I'm just waiting for her to turn 18, so it'll be official. But, so I'm excited for Stranger Things 2. That's coming on July 4th, I think, right?
I have no idea.
Okay. Well, what else? I mean, we don't really have many ideas here. We're kind of just going. What about other Netflix? Okay, Mindhunter. Let's talk about Mindhunter.
Very, very, very good show.
So really Lydia here is an aspiring bullshitter, I guess. She's an aspiring bullshitter in that she likes psychology.
Profiler.
Okay, she wants to be a profiler. And the show Mindhunter, Lydia, why don't you give us a brief synopsis of what kind of happens in the show?
Basically, Mindhunter, I'm not going to give any spoils away here. He dies. But basically...
Who does? Oh, that was a joke. Oh, okay. Kind of fell flat like Mr. Iglesias.
Okay, well, that'll be it for the Helpless comedy, and we'll see you next week. All right, bye, team.
Okay, finish off with your Mindhunter, synopsis.
So basically, it's about the start of profiling, how it came to be what it is, and how they're using it, and how they had to work through the system to be able to make it kind of a real thing and not just an idea. So yeah. I think it's very interesting.
I'd have to agree. I mean, the whole idea of profiling.
Agree with what?
Agree with the fact that you think it's interesting.
Okay.
Yeah. Basically, the show is about these two they're kind of boneheads. They're kind of smart.
Not really.
I mean, the thing is, they kind of play as this bonehead smart guy. You've seen the characters a million times before, but the way they work together and the way they, sort of mesh is really interesting. I do like the show. I don't, and this tends to happen with Netflix shows. It's really over-sexualized for absolutely no reason. But it's a Netflix show, so what do you expect? But other than that, I do think it's interesting.
I'd have to agree with that. a very good movie. There's some scenes that just aren't necessary, but other than those, I think it's really nice and interesting.
All right, and with that, we're going to take our first break here. We'll see you in a little bit. Yeah, I'm tired of talking. I need to get some water. All right, we'll see you in a little bit. Thanks.
So, is that right? That is doing that?
Yeah, it's good.
So we're back from our break here. Owen just got some water. So Owen, what do you think about men waxing their eyebrows? What's your idea on that?
Ladies and gentlemen, I do happen to wax my eyebrows.
Interesting.
I do, and I've done the rounds when it comes to eyebrows. I got some big old bushy ones, and I've had them threaded, I've had them waxed, I've had them snipped, I've had them clipped, I've had them trimmed, and really, when it comes
down to it,
those
last two things are the exact same thing, just different wording. But okay,
and when it comes,
he's trying to take up some time. It's going a lot slower than we thought. It's only been 10 minutes.
When it comes down to it. The best way to get your eyebrows done is to get them
threaded.
Is to get them waxed, and this depends on what kind of eyebrows you have. Lydia has thin eyebrows.
Not really. No.
I
think threading is just overall easier because it's easier to control. I don't know about the speed of it, but I feel like it's a safer thing where waxing, once that wax is on, you don't know what's going to happen and you can't change it. Threading, it goes a little bit more precise, so it's easier to stop when something bad happens. Yeah. So I just think threading is like an overall better option. But again, some people have such a low pain tolerance, they really just can't take it. And that's completely understood, Owen. Don't worry, you're not the only one. But stronger people can probably handle it.
So... yeah, what she just said was kind of all bullshit, but, it's not surprising. Yeah, sure. This is a random topic, and I won't dwell on this too long, but you're going to have to try it all the ways before you make a true decision about it. Yeah.
Not really. I've only done threading, and I'm very happy with.
What do you think about men waxing their buttholes? No, I'm kidding. I am pro, but,
Okay.
Yeah. So... okay, we're 12 minutes in, and we're running on low here. I don't know how we're going to make it episode 2.
Before we finish up this, we're going to keep talking a little bit, but I'd just like to add this clip right here. If you hear this, please leave topics and ideas down in the comment section. Let us know what you'd want us to talk about, what you think's interesting, if you want us to have a debate over something. Just let us know, because we don't know what to say.
Yeah, we really don't. And, I did bring up some very good ideas. I wanted to rank the Toy Story movies.
Nobody cares about that much, though.
But, yeah, Lydia
didn't
really care.
That's the only idea.
Yeah, that was a solid idea. That could have gone for a long time.
I've given multiple ideas, but...
okay, give one and we'll go for it right now.
Okay, Mexican stereotypes.
Okay, Mexican stereotypes. Now, if you don't know this already, for the long-time viewers out there, you'll know that we're Mexican. And being Mexican has its pros, and it has its cons. So, Mexican stereotypes. Let's name some. Lydia, what do you got?
Tacos.
How is that a stereotype?
They think all Mexicans like tacos.
All Mexicans do.
And I know Mexicans that don't like tacos.
Okay. Here's one. Being dramatic. Now, that's a big...
I've never once heard that.
What?
I've never
okay, well,
once
name one Mexican who's not dramatic.
Name one Mexican that's not dramatic?
They're all dramatic.
Cole's not dramatic.
Cole's a quarter Mexican. It doesn't even really count.
Okay, so why are we talking about Mexican stereotypes then?
Well, it's for full-blood Mexicans.
I know multiple Mexicans that aren't dramatic. I don't think that's a...
I'm not, yeah, I kind of came off as a little stereotypical there.
A little bit. Let me think of some stereotypes.
Okay.
All Mexicans like tacos.
All Mexicans are dramatic.
Whatever. All Mexicans like skulls and stuff like that. I think that's a stereotype.
As we sit here with skulls all around us.
Yes, that's our mother.
Yeah, the skull fanatics out there,
They do.
They are what they are.
They represent something nice in certain aspects.
They do.
It's just sometimes the overblown...
it's really nice to wake up at 2 a.m. to take a piss and you see a nice old skull right there.
Yeah, it's nice.
It's really heartwarming.
It's humbling.
It is.
In some way.
It is. And, there's another, Frida Kahlo... the Frida Kahlo obsessed.
We are literally just looking around.
Yeah, we really
our basement
are.
Right now.
This is why this
tequila.
Tequila, but these aren't really stereotypes. These are just like actual Mexican.
That's called a stereotype.
Parts of the culture.
Tequila isn't part of the Mexican culture.
It absolutely is.
You would call beer?
Go read any of the labels on the tequila bottles. Tell me what they're called, and it'll be some sort of Mexican, Spanish
That's because it's a
name.
stereotype, just like Taco Bell.
Yeah, exactly, and so that's what I'm saying. Tequila's,
You just said it was. You literally just said it wasn't a stereotype.
No, it is.
You just
the fact that Mexicans.
It is literally on recording.
She said, okay.
It is on recording.
Lydia said,
well, I don't know if that's a stereotype.
Lydia said the stereotype is tequila. Tequila is not a stereotype.
Okay, so now
the fact that Mexicans like tequila is the stereotype here.
Okay, that's a stretch.
Okay, well,
I
it's
just
correct.
proved you wrong.
So
yeah, I understand.
Maybe kinda, but
it's just everyone listening, please acknowledge the fact that he did just yell at me a few seconds ago saying that.
Well, name a Mexican stereotype then.
You
know what? Here we go. We'll just look it up on Google and then we'll see what Google has to say.
Mexican. What to talk about on a podcast as well.
Stereotypes.
Pretty helpful for this.
Let's see what we got here. Mexican and Latino stereotypes. Okay.
Nice.
Let's see.
What?
Okay. Here we go. Wow, that is the worst webpage I've ever seen.
I just want like a
stereotypes
list.
of Hispanic and Latino Americans.
That's a lot of big words.
Yeah, that's a lot of words. I don't. Oh, here's a good one. The illegal alien and job stealer. So it's a stereotype that Mexican people, Mexican immigrants especially, are stealing domestic jobs from hardworking white Americans.
Interesting.
Is that all you have to say about it?
Yeah, pretty much. I just don't think it's true. So I don't think.
I mean, why don't you think it's true?
Why is it true?
I mean, let's see. What does this have to say? I mean, here's the thing. When it comes down to it, another stereotype of the Mexican worker
so we're just completely skipping the
job. No. I'm gonna connect it back. Okay. Is that they are labor workers?
That's true.
And a lot of them are willing to work for very cheap and very long hours. And obviously that's just because in their native country the wages are much lower, the work conditions are much worse. They're often doing hard blue collar work, so they're willing to do that here in America, where they have more rights, better education, better welfare, and they're willing to work for lower wages. And many Americans see this as a problem. I myself don't, because when it comes down to it, most Americans aren't really looking for this kind of work in the first place. But and another thing is that really it kind of benefits economic conditions for them to be accepting lower wages. It's allowing, things to end up being cheaper. It is sort of theoretical that it could be cheaper, but the inputs are cheaper. So I'm boring Lydia, so let's move on to the next one.
Yeah, I know what he's talking about.
Okay. A lot of these are kind of sucky. The fiery Latina and the hot señorita. So the sassy Mexican woman. That's sort of a stereotype.
That all Mexican women are sassy?
Yeah. Isn't it?
In this household, it's more of like the men.
Yeah.
So
what?
I guess we're breaking that stereotype a little bit.
Yeah, maybe. That's kind of it. Okay, that's a sucky topic. Let's see. What to talk about in a podcast. What to talk about in a podcast. All right. 13 creative podcast segment ideas. Q&A. Okay, well, we don't have anyone to cue. Guests. Okay. Recommendation. So I like this. Let's talk about music.
Okay.
So
and
Lydia,
me and Owen have very, very different styles in music.
So Lydia, just as a background, give your, perhaps 3 or 4 favorite artists and 3 or 4 favorite albums or tracks.
See, well, for me, I think I don't, except for like one artist or 2 maybe, I don't specifically look at like whole albums or everything an artist has made. I prefer like more singles and stuff like that. I don't really think about that.
That's the difference between me and Lydia. Lydia is what I like to call a lazy music listener.
Yes,
she
lazy.
Looks for topical music, awful. Trendy beats, commercialized pop, trap, and hip hop.
That's me.
And just
hip-hop.
plays it until
I like
the
trendy
end of the day.
hip hop.
Trendy commercialized pop, rap, and hip hop.
If I had
she is literally a Russ fan.
If I had to categorize my music and like put it all in one category and say my favorite, it would definitely be trendy hip hop.
Okay.
That's how I like to say it.
Ladies and gentlemen.
That's how I like to say it.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Just that good old trend. That's it.
Are you being sarcastic or serious?
No, I'm being 100% serious.
Ladies and gentlemen, in her room, she has a collection of albums, and she might have 6 or 7, perhaps. Of the albums, she has a Russ album,
which is the best artist of all time.
A Drake album,
which is also a very
and
good
a
artist.
Kendrick Lamar album. And she's gonna try and tell me that she doesn't
like
like
name
commercialized
the other albums
trendy
I have.
hip-hop. I mean, she likes some other super
albums.
sappy crap. She likes Jason Mraz and Khalid and, some of those buffoons. But
so I thought we were just recommending. I did not think you were just
we got off track here.
You were just gonna attack me.
I don't know what to recommend.
Okay. I'll tell you some good recommendations. Russ.
No.
Drake.
And Kendrick Lamar.
No, I wouldn't say Kendrick Lamar. I would probably say, I don't know. Beaston Mush by Cole Fleming.
Beaston Mush. Yep, I'll link that in the description below too. All this crap I'm probably gonna forget to link in the description, but I'll do it. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna take our next break here. It's been another 10 minutes. We'll be back in a little bit. Thanks.
Okay, guys, we're back. We just wasted about 15, 20 minutes. Owen read a scary story that he realized was quite questionable, so he quickly deleted it. So now we're about 10 minutes behind what we normally would, but during that time, we thought of a really good idea. We're going to call down our brother.
We're going to get him on the phone here, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, interrupting me again. Fantastic. Okay, so his picture. We're FaceTiming him right now. Oh!
Mr. Fleming.
Yeah.
You are on the Owen and Lydia Helpless Entertainment podcast.
I'm half naked right now.
Okay.
They can't see you, so.
They can't see you. I'm not. And why are you half naked, just laying on your floor?
Because I have another pilonidal cyst.
Oh, really?
Okay, yeah. So we're taking that also.
So yeah, Cole had a pilonidal cyst, which in essence is kind of like.
This is Owen. Can we delete this?
No, it's fine.
On your ass crack.
It's a pimple on your ass crack, spoken elegantly by Mr. Cole Fleming. Now, Cole, you're on the podcast here today. We have some questions for you.
Okay.
What do you have to say to the stereotype that Mexicans are illegal immigrants that take our jobs?
Well, I think that if you have your green card, then you're illegal.
Thank you for stating a fact. Thank you for stating a fact, Cole.
Yeah.
Cole, on that note of Mexicans, we'd like to ask you, so just a little backstory. One time we went to Mexican Fiesta, and Cole, what was that salad you ordered?
I ordered a fried chicken salad.
So we went to a Mexican restaurant, and Cole ordered a fried chicken salad. We'd like to ask you, Cole, how did that salad taste?
It was delicious, yeah. The chicken was moist, nice.
Is chicken supposed to be
clean?
Was the chicken pink, Cole?
Well, the chicken was not pink, because that means it's raw. So
that mean raw.
Okay, Cole, we have another question for you. Earlier today on the podcast, we called up Mr. Jack Krumm, and we did hear that you would be featured on his next episode of the Snail Shell podcast, and we just want to know what you're going to bring to that fiery debate against those other folks.
Yeah, you know what I'm going to bring? I'm going to bring passion, heart, and desire. Those other folks taking their ass down.
All right, thank you, Cole. That'll be enough for today.
All right, thank you. I'm half naked. Thank you very much. Have a great day.
Bye-bye. All right, ladies and gents, that was Cole Fleming. So another thing I'd like to say here is I'd like to give a shout out to a good friend of mine by the name of Thurva Carker. Recently, he was diagnosed with a form of cancer. He is undergoing chemo treatment right now, and I'd like to send a prayer out to him in a moment of silence. Thank you. With that said, I'd like to talk about a movie that I made called The Banana Bloke. I will link that in the description as well.
Okay. The Banana Bloke. There's so much to say about this movie. I wasn't able to be there the day that it was shown. Is that released? How would you word that? Premiered. I wasn't able to be there the day it was premiered. Was I happy about that? I think that's something left up to your guys' imagination. Because, quite honestly, that movie was... It was good. It was good, but it was
the premise of the movie is it's about an undercover superhero called the Banana Bloke dealing with the everyday life that we all have to deal with. Yeah. And along his way as an FBI agent, he comes across some folks who have found what appears to be a gorilla in their backyard, searching for a lost gem. And this lost gem ends up being his only weakness. And so the Banana Bloke has to sort of come in, and with the help of these people that he meets, he's able to... he has to fight this gorilla being. So, The Banana Bloke. It's on YouTube. Just look up The Banana Bloke and give it a watch. I think you'll enjoy it. Lydia, what would you give it out of 10?
It's been a while since I've seen it, so to be completely honest, I'm not 100% remembering what it was about. But
I just gave a synopsis.
Yeah, still, even watching the movie, I wasn't quite sure what it was about. But, to be honest, it wasn't bad. I'd probably give it a 7, 6, 5. No, it was about a 7.
Okay.
6.
All right, well, that'll be enough of that. So, let's see. Do we have anything else to talk about today before we wrap up for the day, Lynn?
I say you read your scary story.
Screw you.
Fact of the day.
Fact of the day. All right, let's pull up a quote of the day.
So that's just not the same thing.
Or, you know what? Fact of the day, sure. Fact of the day. How long does it take... That's so stupid. That's such a bad question. How long does it take for food to pass through the digestive system? Who cares? Okay, and this is a good topic. Listening to music while working out measurably improves physical performance. Listening to music while working out measurably? Oh, that's quite interesting, actually. As long as it's not Russ.
Well, I think that could be something debated, because honestly, listening to Russ is like someone pouring gold into your ears. That could be about a direct comparison of what it's like. So maybe
if someone poured gold into your ears, it would be so hot that it would burn your skin.
I never said the gold was hot. I did not say the gold was hot.
If you are pouring the gold, it has to be melted.
It could be small cubes.
The only way it would be melted.
It could be small frozen
tiny cubes. Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, with that, we're going to wrap up here. 27-minute runtime. I don't know why I mentioned that, but thank you so much for tuning in to Helpless Entertainment. 27 minutes, 48 seconds. Thank you so much for tuning in to Helpless Entertainment Episode 1. The schedule for the podcast is yet to be determined. I don't know if Lydia will return as a co-host in the future.
She does to be completely honest, I would not call it a co-host. I'd be like, Lydia is probably like more on towards the top side of like power, and then Owen is like
she does absolutely
host.
Nothing all day. So yeah.
I do a fairly quite amount of stuff every day. I'm a busy woman.
Well, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna sign off. We hope you have a fantastic rest of your day.
Right before you go, please listen to this. Give me a second. Okay, this is gonna send you off. This is Nails on a Container.
Shout out to my mother and father, Donna and James Fleming.